And to other news now, Nigeria and the European Union have agreed to expand their strategic partnership with a major ministerial meeting scheduled for Abuja in March 2026. A statement by the spokesperson of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Kimibie Ibiemfa, indicates that the agreement was reached during a high-level meeting between Nigeria's Permanent Secretary of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Dunukba Umar Ahmed, and EU Ambassador Mr. Gautier Mignot. Both sides also agreed to focus on future cooperations in the non-oil sector, such as agriculture, digital economy and green innovation to diversify from oil dependency. Agreements were reached on a balanced approach to migration through skills partnerships to align with the EU's Global Gateway, an initiative that will drive investment into Nigerian infrastructure, clean energy and youth programs. Both sides expressed confidence in the partnership's growth, marking 2026 as a pivotal year for enhanced cooperation. President Bola Tinubu has reminded members of the Nigerian Armed Forces to remain loyal to the country's constitution and democracy. Represented at the 2026 Armed Forces Celebration and Remembrance Day Gala and Award Night by the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, the President assured them that his administration will sustain and improve efforts to deal with the security situation in Nigeria. Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara reports.
It is a night where honor was given to those who deserve it, having distinguished themselves in service, including those who laid their lives defending the territorial integrity of the Nigerian state.
As we celebrate excellence tonight, let us renew our collective resolve to continue building a more professional, united, and mission-ready armed forces that Nigerians can trust and be proud of. Let this evening remind us that service, honor, and duty remain the pillars of our national security and the foundation of our future.
As the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Bola Tinubu, in a message, reassured that his administration will stand by all those paying the supreme price.
From the start, this administration made clear promises to Nigerians. We promise security will be our first duty, and the Renewed Hope agenda will be a plan of action, not just a slogan. Today, we can say with confidence that real and measurable progress is being made across all sectors in this country. Terrorists and criminal networks are under sustained pressure, while effective coordination among our services, regional and global partners is yielding the desired results. Our intelligence and operational reach are stronger, and progressively we are restoring safety and confidence across our nation. Let me state this clearly to you, my gallant troops. Your welfare is inseparable from our national security. We are committed to matching your sacrifice with real support. We're improving your equipment, strengthening your training, and upgrading your living conditions.
The Gala and Award Night is part of activities of the 2026 Armed Forces Celebration and Remembrance Week to encourage and foster national unity. From Banquet Hall of the Presidential Villa in Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara, NTA News.
The Polish ambassador to Nigeria, Michał Siegen, has described Nigeria as a stabilizing force in the West African region, citing the critical role of the Nigerian armed forces, particularly the Nigerian Air Force in counterinsurgency and regional security efforts. A statement by the Director of Public Relations and Information, Air Commodore Ehimen Ejodame. The ambassador made this remark during a courtesy visit to the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Sunday Aneke, at the Nigerian Air Force Headquarters, Abuja. He commended the professionalism and resilience of the Nigerian Armed Forces and expressed Poland's interest in exploring practical avenues of bilateral defense cooperation to further support Nigeria's security priorities. The Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Sunday Aneke, underscored the importance of strategic international partnerships in addressing contemporary and asymmetric security challenges. He noted that the Nigerian Air Force remains committed to leveraging cooperation with friendly nations to enhance operational effectiveness, capacity development, and information exchange in support of national security objectives. The Air Chief reaffirmed the service's openness to mutually beneficial partnerships that strengthen counterinsurgency capabilities and contribute to both regional and global security. In a renewed move to sustain security of the nation's maritime space, protect critical oil assets, and increase daily crude oil production to 2.7 million barrels by 2027, the Nigerian Navy has flagged off Operation Delta Sentinel. Commander Task Group 26.1, Rear Admiral Suleiman Ibrahim, flagged off the operation at the Nigerian Navy ship Pathfinder, Port Harcourt. Kingsley Amajiri reports.
Operation Delta Sentinel is a build-up from the immediate past Operation Delta Sanity 2. Nigerian Navy is reinvigorating the exercise by bringing in some additional platforms like maritime domain awareness, unmanned area surveillance, and maritime boats to cover the backwaters and deep sea. The target is to boost Nigeria's daily oil production and create an enabling environment for international businesses to thrive.
So now we are going to increase our presence within the backwaters and into the offshore, that's deep sea, to cover all of the operations from exploration to production, and equally on board some of the terminals.
Flag Officer Commanding Eastern Naval Command Rear Admiral Chiedozie Okehie is happy that substantial achievements were recorded in Operation Delta Sanity 2 in 2025 with the deactivation of over 334 illegal refining sites.
792 ovens, 411 reservoirs, 121 storage tanks, and 7 vessels were arrested or deactivated, alongside several other items and equipment used in the construction and operation of illegal refining facilities.
This operation reflects a shift towards deployment of technologically enhanced surveillance, joint interagency cooperation, and expanded naval capabilities in confronting complex maritime criminalities. In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
In the meantime, the federal government has laid the foundation stone for the establishment of Nigerian Army Depot in Amasiri, Afikpo, Council area of Ebonyi State. Caleb Ubunna reports that before the groundbreaking ceremony for the facility, Governor Francis Nwifuru performed the official handover of the 618 hectares of land to the Chief of Army Staff.
To strengthen the nation's security architecture with the aim of fostering a thriving nation that guarantees the safety of all, especially investors and their investments, President Bola Tinubu approved the establishment of the 3rd Nigerian Army Depot to be situated in Ebonyi State. The landmark project is now a reality in Amasiri Afikpo Council area of the state, as Governor Francis Nwifuru formally handed over 618 hectares of land to the Nigerian Army and performed the groundbreaking ceremony for the project.
The decision of our dear President and the Chief of Army Staff to establish the facilities in our great zone, southeastern Nigeria, demonstrates in practical terms of our commitment to fairness, equity, justice, and national integration as far as the provision of critical and security infrastructure is concerned in our great country, Nigeria. The siting of the facility in our great state, Ebonyi, would also have economic and social benefits for the state, and which will also rub on neighboring states.
We are happy, we are super excited, because we know we are going to benefit a lot.
For the Nigerian Army, the initiative underscores the federal government's commitment to strengthening defense infrastructure and equipping security forces with the necessary resources to safeguard the nation.
The establishment of the Depot Nigerian Army Amasiriada is one of the several efforts by the Nigerian Army to strengthen our national security by boosting its fighting manpower through sound training of troops to tackle the barrage of security threats inherent in our environment.
Beyond its strategic military value to Ebonyi State, Southeast, and Nigeria at large, the project is poised to deliver far-reaching benefits, including economic opportunities, regional stability, and enhanced security. In Abakaliki, Caleb Obunna, NTN.
Communities living around the Kanji Lake in Borgu and Agwara local government areas of Niger State have been given 2 months to vacate to allow security operatives engage suspected terrorists hibernating in the vicinity. The state governor, Mohammed Umar Bago, said this during a condolence visit to the Emir of Borgu, Mohammed Halilu Ntoro Kitoro IV, over recent terrorist attacks in the Emirates. Hussein Musa reports.
Visit to Borgu Emirate by Niger State Governor Muhammad Umar Bago is to sympathize with the Emir and people, as well as take measures to curb activities of terrorists in the area. Governor Muhammad Umar Bago revealed that the resettlement of people living around the Kainji Lake to safer areas in Borgu Emirate is part of new measures to flush out criminal elements and make the place safe and habitable again. The governor, who decried the influx of strange people into the emirate without proper profiling, disclosed that Kasuan Daji was, before the unfortunate incident, a hub for Rostul cows.
It's a wake-up call to the Emirate Council of Borgu Emirate and the entire Emirate Council around here not to allow these people to come back here and settle. They must get the details of where they are coming from, why they have left where they have left, and why they are here before they can, and they have to work with the security agencies to understand the identity of these people. We've realized that we have a lot of hamlets and scattered communities within the Kayenji Lake. Now it's a call on all these communities to leave the Kayenji Lake and come out and be resettled by the Emirate Council in a place where they become big towns. When this is done, we are going to be able to flush and clear that forest.
And I want to assure you that our various community members will be more than willing to cooperate.
Stakeholders from the area appreciated the governor and reassured him of the Emirates' support towards enhancing security of lives and livelihoods. Emena Hussein Musa, NTA News.
The 63 Brigade Sector 1 Joint Task Force South-South Operation Delta Save has organized the 2025 West African Social Activities WASA. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports on what WASA is all about.
The West African Social Activities WASA is an age-long tradition of the Nigerian Army designed to bring soldiers, officers, their families and the host communities together to mark the end of the year's operation and usher activities for the new year. The event, devoid of much regimentation, is a critical component of non-kinetic approach and seeks to foster the spirit of comradeship among troops, reward hard work and strategize for the new year.
The colonial masters upheld this tradition in the army to enhance the confidence of soldiers and to foster esprit de corps. The WASA has come to stay as an annual event all over the Nigerian Army for us to celebrate the end of the year and to usher in training and operational activities for the new year, which is this year, 2026. This event is intended to showcase the rich cultural heritage of personnel of the Nigerian Army and our host community.
Today's occasion, therefore, aligns very aptly with the command philosophy of the Chief of Army Staff, which is to advance the transformation of the Nigerian Army into a more professional, adaptable, combat-ready and resilient force, capable of decisively discharging its constitutional responsibilities within a joint environment.
The event featured display of the nation's diverse rich cultural heritage, infantry display, and awards to deserving officers and soldiers. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
It's now time to link up with our Sokoto Network Center for news making rounds in that axis with Sadia as our guide. Hello, Sadia. Good to see you.
Thanks for joining us. Still staying with the Nigerian Army, in response to rising public health needs and the link between community well-being and national security, the Nigerian Army has taken medical services directly to a village in the Ngeshuni local government area of Sokoto State. Bashir Ibrahim Nababa reports that the medical outreach is part of activities marking this year's Armed Forces Celebration and Remembrance Day.
The free medical outreach program forms part of activities marking the 2026 Armed Forces Celebration and Remembrance Day. The exercise is expected to provide consultations, drugs, and preventive care to between 350 and 400 residents. Flagging off the program, the General Officer commanding 8th Division and Commander Sector 2 Northwest Joint Task Force Operation Fansayama, Major General Ibikule Ajosi represented, said unhealthy communities remain vulnerable to poverty, insecurity, and social breakdown. The Armed Forces Celebration and Remembrance Day is not just about honoring fallen heroes, but also about sustaining the values, unity, sacrifice, and service to the people.
Gathering here today amidst the vibrant people of Ungwan local community and surrounding areas, I am deeply moved by the expected tangible impact of this medical outreach, which is one of our week-long initiative as we approach the D-Day, which is 15 January this year.
The outreach represents more than medical care, describing it as a sign that security agencies are also partners in development.
Those initiatives help strengthen bond between military personnel and community.
The program also featured distribution of mosquito nets, targeting malaria prevention in rural communities. From Sokoto, Bashir Ibrahim Nababa, NTA News.
At a time when school safety has become a growing national concern, Kebbi State has taken proactive steps to safeguard its future leaders by bringing together principals, teachers, security personnel, and other education stakeholders for a sensitization program focused on non-kinetic approaches to securing secondary schools. Correspondent Abdul Muhammad has the report.
The sensitization conducted by the State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education target principals, teachers, school security personnel, and community stakeholders with a view to strengthen the security architecture of learning environment across the state. The initiative focuses on non-kinetic strategies, proactive, preventive, and intelligence-led measures aimed at securing school premises and ensuring uninterrupted academic activities.
It's a deliberate step taken by His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kebbi State, to carve and make our schools safe for learning.
At the engagement, security experts provided practical tips for teachers, watchmen, and stakeholders on identifying early warning signs, building trust with students, and establishing strong community surveillance system to mitigate threat before they escalate. Participants commended the effort, describing it as timely and necessary, especially in light of recent security concerns affecting schools in some parts of the country.
So we have learned a lot, and we have learned a trip of the security of our schools.
The sensitization is expected to be stepped down to students in schools across Kebbi State. In Birnin Kebbi, Abdul Muhammad Bawa, NTA News.
There is more to come on Nationwide from Lagos. That will be right after.
Hello, and thank you for joining us in Lagos. The Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, has continued to power communications and digital growth, but as the market matures with improved expansion, questions arising about pricing, quality service, and how the competition truly is. In response to these inquests, The NCC has convened a stakeholders forum on the study of competition in the Nigerian telecommunications industry. Adejoke Odeka tells us more.
This stakeholder session is...
With the dawn of the new year, the vision of the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, for the development of the telecommunications sector in Nigeria continues unabated, and in recognition of the significant changes that have occurred over the past decade, the Commission has reintroduced a study on the level of competition in the industry, which was last conducted in 2013.
On increasing competition, it is not just, again, the entrance of new players into the sector. One, we're having entrance of new players into the sector, but there are also new and more innovative business models coming into the sector.
Experts say the current trend signals competition in voice and data market segment, network quality and digital offerings, making a comprehensive market review critical.
The Commission wants to remain committed to our mandate of ensuring a level playing field for all players in the telecoms market. We'll be able to understand the current market as it is, using evidence-based investigations and findings. We will look at these findings and ensure that the market remains competitive.
The forum featured a breakout session including operators, infrastructure providers, consumer groups, and others aimed at strengthening regulatory oversight, promote fair competition, and protect consumers, highlighting the importance of continued collaboration among industry participants. In Lagos, Adejoke Odeka, NTA News.
Adequate funding, improved technology and requisite skills are required steps for Nigeria to actualize the net zero 2060 target. Amaka also sought the views of experts on Nigeria's energy transition pathway and now reports.
Nigeria's energy transition policy was created in the year 2022 and updated in the year 2024. According to experts, its objective is in line with actualizing the Sustainable Development Goals number 7, which is universal access to reliable, sustainable and modern energy by the year 2030. Also, to achieve a net zero 2060. To this end, the federal and Lagos state governments have created commendable policies and roadmaps that align with the global mandates with the use of cleaner energy, especially in certain aspects of power consumption, cooking and transportation, as seen in the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative, PCNG.
Under the Renewed Hope agenda, Nigeria is implementing bold, credible, and irreversible reforms.
The energy transition is not without drawbacks, which industry players advise requires consistent political will and the need to receive the right attention to enable Nigeria meet up with the global target.
There needs to be adequate investment in that area. It has to do with the willpower. That means you have a desire to transit in terms of the energy mix to go forward, because we have a lot of people without power. We're still at the early stages of energy.
For you to have a viable solar electricity mix, you must have certain basic infrastructure in place. Number one is manufacturing of solar panels themselves, so that gradually we flow along with the world to transit from heavily dependent and of fossil usage to greener sources of energy.
The removal of fuel subsidy by the present administration, industry players say, remains a giant stride that fosters the pathway towards actualizing the reduction in consumption of fossil fuel options in transportation for a more resilient environment and energy security. In Lagos, Amaka O, NTA News.
Those are the stories from Lagos. It's back to Ifoma in Abuja for more on Nationwide.
Many thanks, Ese. Now, the Nigeria Customs Service Kwara Area Command has intercepted smuggled food items, vehicles, premium motor spirits and clothing worth over 1.2 billion naira within the last 1 month. The acting area controller, Najim Akomu Ogundeyi, disclosed this while briefing newsmen on the recent enforcement achievements in Ilori. Aisha Abubakar Yahya has the reports.
Items intercepted include 389 bales of second-hand clothing and 108 sacks of used bags, which were seized along Ogbomoso-Yenkori Expressway, while 6,500 liters of premium motor spirits were also seized at various patrol bases along Bukuro border axis. Other items seized are 450 bags of 50 kg foreign parboiled rice, which were intercepted along Okuta axis, and 3 exotic vehicles. 170 pieces of used tires were also intercepted along Lagos-Jeba Expressway. According to the controller, Kwara Area Command of the Nigerian Customs Service, Najim Akamu Ogundeyi, seizures of the contraband items were made through intelligence-driven patrols and sustained enforcement operations.
This issue clearly demonstrates that smuggling activities will not be tolerated under my watch, and anyone involved in such illegal acts will be dealt with in accordance with the law.
He also called on residents and stakeholders to support the Nigerian Customs operations by providing credible and timely information, as it will contribute immensely to national development. Aisha Abubakar Yahaya, NTA News.
Since the 1st of January, many Nigerians have been faced with the reality of a new tax system. What is the level of awareness on this tax regime in Awka, Anambra State? Is tax payment new to the people? Daniel Upai has more.
The Nigeria Tax Act 2025 is now in full effect. While the government calls it a move towards equity and modernization, the streets are buzzing with mixed reactions. For many low-income earners, there is a sigh of relief. The new law raised the tax-exempt threshold to 800,000, effectively removing thousands of workers from the tax net.
There is conflicting information going around, and some people see it as a terrible thing. And some people think that if you transact business, anytime you are sent money, your money disappears. So I think what is lacking is more enlightenment by the authorities, so that people will separate the facts from fiction.
If tax are collected from people, from citizens, to give us electricity, good roads, equip the hospital and the universities, I am not worried about that. After all, we have countries today that doesn't have the natural resources, that is petroleum and other things. They survive on taxation.
Many are of the view that as the Nigerian Revenue Services continue enforcement, one thing is certain: the conversation on how to fund the nation's future is just getting started. In Awka, Daniel Okbai, NTA News.
Is tax payment new to the people? This is one of the questions Daniel asked in his introduction. So let's rejoin him, this time live, to tell us more on how the people are keeping up with the developments in his location. Daniel, it's over to you.
All right, and thanks to welcome to Awka, the Anambra State capital, where we sampled opinion on the new tax regime that took effect on the 1st of January 2026. The 2025 fiscal reform package in Nigeria represents one of the most ambitious efforts to modernize the country's tax system in recent history. It comprises of 4 laws: the Nigerian Tax Act, the Nigerian Tax Administration, the Nigerian Revenue Service Act, and the Joint Revenue Act. Together, these laws aim to amplify the administration of tax in Nigeria, then reduce legal ambiguity, and then also improve voluntary compliance. The stakes are significant, and we also know that tax compliance in Nigeria has remained below 35%. So that is why it's very important. They also say that for this policy to succeed, people must be informed about it. There is need to educate the people, and that's talking about effective communication. That is what it depends. And they are saying that this law should go around to the people so that they will understand, read it, go through it, and understand the nitty-gritty of this policy. So many people are caught in the web of confusion concerning this new tax regime. Some have even gone to the extent of withdrawing their money to save it somewhere else so that the tax will not affect the money. So the people need high level of education. That is it.
Thank you very much indeed, Charles, for that update. Yes, I agree with you. More needs to be done in the area of sensitization. That will be all from Oka. We will now go over to our Makurdi Network Center, where Charles will be giving us stories making rounds from that axis. Good to see you, Charles.
And a warm welcome to Makurdi. The Benue State Governor, Hassan Talia, has registered for the ongoing All Progressives Congress APC electronic registration in his polling unit in Mbago, Vandikia local government area, marking the commencement of the e-registration in the state. Elias Sitia reports that the governor was presented with the printout after being successfully captured in the APC electronic database by officials of the party.
It is a flag-off ceremony of the electronic registration of the All Progressives Congress in Benue State, and the #1 citizen of the state is at the RCM Primary School, Hugh, his hometown, to be registered in the nationwide exercise. Governor Hyacinth Alia becomes the first person to be registered in the state with a status of 001. The governor, upon completion of his registration, tasked local government party chairmen, council ward leaders, and all stakeholders to mobilize their supporters to register themselves, noting that agents have been trained and deployed to all council wards across the state to ensure a seamless registration exercise. While commending the national leadership of the party and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for introducing the e-registration, the governor emphasized that the initiative will strengthen the party at all levels and ensure an authentic and verifiable database for the party.
You all move on to do your individual registration. It never takes more than 2 minutes. And here it's mine. Going forward, those who would demonstrate their strength and power by numbers would be given priority attention.
Chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Benue State, Benjamin Omale, and the state coordinator of the exercise, James Onguga, explained that the e-registration requires a national identification number and the national voters card identification number to complete the process. They further added that in areas of poor network, agents have been mandated to collect details of registrants manually to be uploaded later. The APC e-registration exercise is expected to be completed on 31st December 2026. From Bandike local government area, Elias Itiav, NTA News.
And on road matters, the Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, Benue State Command, has secured 56 convictions during a mobile court sitting as part of the Operation Zero campaign. Blessing Omeche Ebute completes the report.
The special operation, code-named Operation Zero, is part of the Ember Months campaign carried out by the Federal Road Safety Corps, specifically designed to address the rising tide of traffic indiscipline along the busy corridors in Benue State, notorious for route violations, overloading, and reckless driving. The mobile court arrested and prosecuted motorists for various offenses, including seat belt violation, driver's license violation, overloading, as well as route violation cases. Emphasizing the importance of mobile court, Sector Commander, Federal Road Safety Corps, Benue State Command, Kehinde Dahusin, stated that they remain a vital tool in ensuring compliance and deterring habitual violators in line with FRSC Establishment Act.
So far, we have arranged about 35 offenders before the magistrate. So, and the operation is going on smoothly, as you can see it yourself. So the major objective of the operation is to check overloading and speed limit devices, to make sure they have speed limit devices in their vehicle.
He urged motorists to obey traffic regulations, ensure their vehicles are in good condition, and cultivate safe driving habits to ensure that the roads remain safe for all users. In Makurdi, Blessing Omeche Ebute NTA News.
That report runs off our contribution from Makurdi. Nationwide continues with Kemi in an Ibadan Network Center.
To Ibadan. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde has described 2026 as a critical political year, advising residents to be security conscious as the build-up to the 2027 general elections begins. Speaking at the state's annual interfaith prayer session to mark the new year, the governor urged politicians against unrealistic political promises. Grace Ayolike tells us more.
Your health, you shall be strong this year.
With prayers for peace and prosperity, Oyo State officially stepped into the new year 2026. But beyond the celebration, Governor Seyi Makinde delivered a message laced with politics, security concerns, and succession signals, describing 2026 as a pivotal year filled with intense political activities. The governor charged residents to remain vigilant and promptly report suspicious activities, assuring them that the government would continue to play its part in safeguarding lives and property.
These past 7 years, we must have learned something. This is not about Seyi Makinde anymore. It's about a team. It's about our institutions.
The workers who trooped out in their numbers praised Governor Makinde for what was described as people-centered governance.
They have ensured timely promotions when approved, engaged competent officers in the recruitment and conversion exercises.
A symbolic gesture, the Nigerian Union of Pensioners presented a white horse to the governor, describing it as a mark of appreciation for his commitment to retirees' welfare. Grace Ayolike, NTA News.
The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, in Oyo State has assured Nigerians of improved modalities to boost participation in the phase 2 of the ongoing continuous voter registration exercise. Oyeyin Komole monitored the exercise in Ibadan in our reports.
As eligible voters in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, continue to take advantage of the opportunity provided by the Commission to register for their voter cards, INEC explained that not all registration cases require physical presence at the registration centers.
For those who have not registered, who are just turning 18 years of age, then those that are, intending to do transfer, those that have lost their cards, all they need to do is to just log into our website, which is www.cvr.inecnigeria.org.
You don't need to come with anything. All you need to do is to come with your name, and you should know your registration area.
Monitoring the exercise at the INEC local government office in Ibadan North, some challenges were recorded.
Actually register in Lagos. That was when I was staying in Lagos, but now I'm staying in Ibadan now, so I have to do transfer from Lagos to Ibadan. So that is why I'm here.
To have a voter's card. It's Awolowo and Bolaji and so and so. So since then, I have no interest in voting.
INEC, however, explained that the rotational movement of voter enrollment device machines across the 351 registration areas in the state will help reduce stress and improve participation. In Ibadan, Oyeyinka Omole, NTA News.
And that's it from Ibadan. Informite, back to you.
Thank you very much, Kemi. And the Federal Ministry of Water Resources, in collaboration with Nasarawa State Government, is currently reviewing the state water and sanitation master plan through the revalidation of data as condition to access the African Development Bank funds to bridge water gaps in urban areas of the states. Ayena J. Auta has more.
Ahead of the 2030 SDGs target of portable and safe water supply in Nigeria, the Federal Ministry of Water Resources, with the intervention from the African Development Bank, is piloting water supply and sanitation schemes in 7 states of the Federation, and Nasarawa State is one of the beneficiaries. It is on these premises that the Federal Ministry of Water Resources is undertaking the review of the Nasarawa State Water Master Plan, with Kari local government area and other urban centers as major targets to utilize water as major source of revenue generation.
We've been assigned by the Federal Ministry of Water Resources to work with the State Water Board and the State Sanitation Board to come out with an implementation plan on how they are going to meet the SDG by 2030.
We lobbied as a state to be included into the 7 states which started about 2 years ago.
If eventually these data are collected very well, the eventual advantages are so much. We have support from the World Bank, we have support from so many donor agencies.
Other development partners expressed confidence that the project is a good synergy to boost water supply in both urban centers and the rural areas of the state.
This is one of the important documents that the national state government need for donor partners to come into the state.
The data review exercise is billed to terminate end of April. In Lafia, Ayena J. Outa, NTA News.